Hi, and welcome back to part 7 of Cannabis and the Chakra series. Happy to have you back if you've watched all the other ones, and if you're just tuning in, I do have a playlist on YouTube with all 7 of the chakras, starting from the root to the crown, so if you want to go check that out, and make sure to subscribe because pretty soon I'm starting an interview series where I'm just interviewing other cannabis activists and other people who use cannabis in a similar way that I do, just to kind of spread knowledge and learn more about connecting cannabis with our spirituality and using it in an intentional way, which is what I'm trying to do with this chakra series and helping you heal from your base to your crown. There's all sorts of different ways you could heal with cannabis just by setting intentions and manifesting with cannabis and things like that. So I'm pretty excited about that series. I have my first interview tonight, so I'm excited. So let's dive right in. So today we're talking about the Crown Chakra, which is right at the top of your head. And your crown is basically your seat of cosmic consciousness. So every one of us has a connection to some a higher power or source or the universe or God or however that resonates best with you. We all have a connection to that, and that comes at the crown of our head. In tantric philosophy, the crown both gives and receives the energy of consciousness. So like I said, it's located at the crown of your head, and it's symbolized by the lotus flower. When your crown is open and healthy, you're going to feel connected to your higher self. You're going to easily access your inner wisdom. You'll feel connected to life and others, and you'll feel a sense of serenity and wholeness. Despite whatever is going on around you, you'll just know that you're connected to something higher than yourself, and that'll give you peace and comfort. When your crown chakra is blocked, you tend to be depressed. You feel alienated from others and disconnected from what's happening around you, and you're going to lack empathy for others. A blocked crown tends to be the result of living kind of like a stressful, hectic, always on the go kind of lifestyle. If you have unresolved trauma from your childhood, or you have deeply rooted core beliefs, your crown chakra is most likely blocked. So anything like you were conditioned to believe that you're separate and kind of isolated from anything else. You're separate from God, or you're separate from a different race, or you're just separated. And if you grew up believing that, that kind of leaves us feeling small and disconnected and kind of alienated. So that's a lot of us. A lot of us grew up with those kinds of beliefs, being disconnected from the whole, and you are whole. You are part of the whole. So that's important to remember. So like I said, your crown chakra is the energy center in your body that's responsible for consciousness. So your thoughts and awareness, your wisdom, and your connection to the divine. So like I said, whether that's God or your higher self or spirit or whatever resonates with you, right? So whatever you want to connect to your higher power. Signs of an unhealthy crown chakra are apathy, lack of care and compassion for others, excessive egotism, excuse me. If you suffer from insomnia or nightmares, if you're always bored and you feel alienated and disconnected, or even dogmatism, so like worshiping a certain deity or something, could be a sign as well, because it just kind of disconnects you from other things, like religion tends to do that. You're going to experience existential depression and spiritual disconnection. You're going to have very rigid and limiting, a self-identity and self-worth. You might be greedy and materialistic. You might have mental fog, confusion, and loneliness, or you might suffer from migraines and headaches. You might have a light sensitivity. And even things like neurological disorders and endocrine disorders can also be a sign of an imbalance in the crown. So, and like all the other chakras, there's a deficient side. And if you're on the deficient side, it's going to be more apathetic, lonely, depression and chronic fatigue. And if you're excessive, it's going to be more of the greedy, egotism, mental confusion, things like that. So to heal, I love using cannabis to heal. This is what this series is all about, so I love starting with that. So a great strain to use when working with your crown chakra is a sativa dominant strain called Jack Herer, and it's known for its euphoric and clear-headed effects. So that is ideal for using when you're manifesting or visualizing. I love to pair cannabis with that kind of activity because it kind of breaks down some barriers and gives you a fresh perspective, and sometimes you can receive some wisdom or insight or inspiration, and it just really helps to connect, and sativas help you connect to the higher chakras, right? So really euphoric sativa would be ideal for your crown chakra. If you can't find Jack Herer, just aim for like a euphoric strain, high in sativa. And yeah, you can kind of pick your own strains. You don't have to use the ones I suggest, but just pick something kind of along the lines and similar. And the thing that matters most always is your intention. So always set your intention to clear and connect to or heal or expand your crown chakra. So that's always important. And also, some people like to use a CBD strain. So you can find flower that's higher in CBD, or even an oil, a CBD oil of some sort. You could use that to get the kind of relaxing, anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory effects of the CBD, which shifts your physiology a little bit, which will shift your perspective also, even though you're not getting that euphoric, crazy high that you would from a super high THC sativa. But it'll give you that extremely clear-headedness, and some people prefer that when they're working with their crown chakra. So that is another option for you if you're looking into using cannabis to start your healing journey. And as always, you can combine cannabis with any of the other tips I give you, and any other things that you want to try. It's all about intention, right? So focusing your intention on a specific strain and focusing intending that strain to help you heal a specific area. It's all very specific, and you know, where focus goes, energy flows, right? So it just helps you kind of get clear in your crown. So once you begin healing your crown chakra, you're going to notice you have a sense of inner peace and clarity. You will no longer feel isolated. Those feelings will be placed with a sense of belonging and interconnectedness with all of life, because you are connected to all of life. You're not isolated. You are not alone. It doesn't matter how much you feel that way. You are a part of something bigger than yourself. So it's important to remember that, and remember that we're all connected. And as like you clear and heal all the chakras, you will begin to realize this and kind of incorporate it in your life however it fits for you, right? So it'll just give you that peace of mind. And then, like I always say also, it takes time to heal your chakra system. So just by watching this video is not going to help you make a drastic change. It's the consistent action that you take and the specific intentions that you're setting and the choices that you make will all lead to a healthy chakra system. So I encourage you to just kind of incorporate everything I talk about into your self-care routine as best you can, so that you're always consciously focusing on healing. And it's very important because visualization and the placebo effect, and just the fact that you're consciously intending things, things will start to happen and start to clear stagnant energy within your body, and you'll start feeling better and your thoughts will change, and it's a kind of a beautiful thing. So it's exciting. So just take your time with it and realize that it does take time, but it's worth it. It's worth the work, and the work is actually kind of fun. I love this kind of stuff. So anyways, so like I said, you could use your euphoric sativa to meditate, and that is my number one tip for today, is to use cannabis in a meditative state. So sit down, make a ritual of it, set your intention, smoke it, light a candle if you want, have crystals around, and just kind of bring yourself, centered, and realize your breath. And you can even do a visualization as you're meditating, or separate from meditation. It's up to you, but I like to do both. I like get myself into a meditative state and then begin my visualization. So this is awesome with cannabis. So I'll just talk you through a little exercise that you could do. So you can use your sativa dominant strain again, like I said, and intend for it to bring clarity and healing to your crown chakra. So you want to sit quiet in a quiet space and become aware of your breath. And just notice it as it comes in and out. And then you can start taking deeper, more conscious breaths. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And every time you breathe in, you can imagine this violet ray of light coming down into your crown chakra. And every time you inhale, you can visualize your crown chakra expanding, like a lotus flower kind of expanding. And every time you exhale, you can imagine yourself letting go of any stagnant energy or old belief patterns that aren't serving you anymore, or any feelings of fear and isolation. Every time you exhale, you could just like let all that stuff out. So you could just keep doing that and stay in that state for a little while, and that'll definitely promote healing. And along with the sativa strain, you're gonna actually amplify those intentions. So it's super important. The second biggest thing I have is stop believing your thoughts. Okay, one very important thing to remember is you are not the thoughts that you think. You are the observer of those thoughts. So if you sit quietly for a moment and turn your attention inward, you'll begin to notice like thoughts just kind of start flooding in. And once you notice that, think about it. Like, did you deliberately think those thoughts into existence, or did they just kind of appear there? Are they just coming in and out? And as you notice that, you notice that those thoughts are not yours. You are not creating those thoughts. They're just kind of coming in from your subconscious mind and the kind of dark, dingy parts of your mind that you don't even consciously know are there. And just notice that the essence of you, like who you are, is the observer, not those thoughts. So there's something, I just wrote this in a Facebook post not that long ago, and it was kind of a channeled thing. I just sat down and put pen to paper. I had smoked some cannabis. I don't remember what strain or anything like that. It wasn't kind of that intentional, but it just happened. And this came out, and I feel like it might resonate in this stop believing your thoughts category. So I'm just going to read that to you. So I said, sometimes my thoughts run away from me. They start whispering, "You're not good enough. Nobody cares what you have to say. You sound stupid." But then I catch it. I start to pay attention. I shift my body, and a smile creeps on my face. I'm in charge here. Those negative thoughts are just my programming. I become aware of my breath. I feel my feet on the ground, and I become centered. Then the thoughts change too. Actually, I am good enough. What others think of me is none of my business. I am smart and worthy of sharing my voice. I am the power. The programming instilled in me from my crazy roller coaster of a childhood no longer serves me. It only wants to keep me small. I am writing new programs. Only then will I reach my potential. No more playing small. I am in control here. So the point of that is I want you to kind of coach yourself out of any negative thought patterns and realize that you are not those things that are playing on repeat in the back of your head. Those are the things that you learned through your experiences through childhood, through the television that you watched, the music that you listened to, the peers you had in your life, any authority figures you had in your life. All of that you adopted from outside yourself. So realize that you are in charge. You have the power to kind of rewrite those programs, which equal rewriting your thoughts and self-talk. So that's very important. Okay, so number 4 is to educate yourself. So you can open your crown chakra by expanding your mind. So read more books, watch more videos like this one, and just listen to podcasts, things like that, or anything, that focuses on personal growth, personal development, spiritual development, anything that has to do with healing yourself or reprogramming your subconscious mind. Just feeding your mind those things will over time eventually rewrite those negative programs that you picked up throughout your childhood. So wash, rinse, repeat, basically. So just keep learning and expanding your mind and feeding your brain things that are going to propel you forward instead of distracting yourself and watching things that, make you think the world is a terrible place, like the news, for example. Watching things like the news is a very negative programming that a lot of people have, and I notice it a lot more in like my parents' generation because they didn't grow up so in touch with technology and the internet and people across the world, because I choose to surround myself with positive people on a path to bettering themselves rather than watching the news, which is just like placing fear and anger and separating us from one another. So yeah, anyways, I just went off on a tangent there. But yeah, just educate, fill your mind with very positive and empowering things so that you can grow and become the person you are on this earth to be. Anyways, another thing you could do, like I mentioned in all my videos, there's crystals for each of the chakras. So I have a couple here, and I'm actually very excited about one of them because I just got it yesterday. So anyways, Selenite is a very cleansing stone. It has a high salt content. It's a very pretty stone. It's clear, but it's got like a nice flash on there. This stone is very good for, like clearing your aura and removing any stagnant energies from the chakras. It opens and activates the third eye and crown chakra. It's very good for the upper chakras and even the soul star chakra, which is, I'm only talking about the 7 main chakras in the body. There are actually many, and some of them, like your soul star, like I mentioned, is actually above you. And you also have an earth star chakra, which is below your feet, like in the ground. So you can use this to kind of cleanse your chakras. I like to go from from my crown to my root, and just go through and kind of leave them on this different chakras to kind of clear out any stagnant energy. So that's very good for the crown as well. And it helps you bring kind of awareness to the higher plane. So it's a very versatile stone. I highly recommend getting a selenite wand or slab like I have. I charge my other crystals on it. I set them all on top. Yeah, very good. Very, very, very good stone. And I also want to show you my new Labradorite. My friend actually got me this for my birthday. And it's funny because in my third eye chakra video, I had wanted, I mentioned I am looking for one and I haven't found one that resonates with me. And she did a really good job. I can't put this stone down. I've been absolutely obsessed. So anyways, so Labradorite, this is a raw chunk, but you can get polished stones as well. It's a very mystical stone. I mean, like, just looking at it like this, it doesn't look like much. It looks like something you found in your driveway or, you know, something like that. But when the light shines on it a certain way, it's got these beautiful blues and greens and yellows. It's very hard to pick up on the camera. Oh, there's a little bit. See, you could see that. In person, it's so much more vibrant. So it's kind of mystical and magical, and it resonates really well with the higher chakras as well, so your throat to your soul star. It increases connection with the physical and ethereal, and it's especially useful in, like I said, the upper chakras. So from your throat to your crown, it can help your throat with kind of like psychic communication. It can open up your third eye chakra. It's a very powerful stone to meditate with. You can sleep with it under your pillow, or if you're laying down to meditate, you could put it on your third eye or have it sitting above your head on your crown chakra. You could hold it in your palms, or you could just actually sit and be aware of your breath and just kind of take in the beauty of the stone and just kind of get lost in it. And it'll help clear your higher chakras. It's a very, very cool stone, and I'm so thankful that I actually have one now. I haven't stopped playing with it, seriously. Okay. A couple other stones that you can use are amethyst. I don't know where mine is at the moment. I think I brought it in my room. Oh, no, I have it right here. So amethyst is good too. I just have a little one. So this is good for your higher chakras as well. And there's also danbarite, charoite, and like I said, amethyst. So sorry if I said those wrong. I'm new to a lot of stones, and I'm starting to accumulate quite a collection, so I'm pretty excited. So yeah, you could use stones to meditate with. You could wear them as jewelry. If you're going to use labradorite or even selenite, try and get something that you wear like on your ears or on your throat to just kind of connect with your higher chakras. Like a bracelet is kind of low, if you know what I mean. So earrings are ideal. If you could find a pair of labradorite earrings, it's a great place to put them to kind of energize all your upper chakras. And yeah, there's also some herbs you can use. So holy basil, lotus, lavender, things like that, is very useful. So you could use that either in an essential oil or have, incense, or even to put those types of things in a tea, have a lot, or even a lavender bubble bath. So probably would be very good to balance out your crown chakra. Anyways, this smells like lavender for sure. Smells really good. Anyways, So yeah, just incorporating those different herbs and things like that. And committing to a spiritual practice is super important with just like your spiritual growth, but also helping to balance all of your chakras, not just your crown, but with your crown it's a more spiritual connection. So having something like an altar with your favorite candles and stones and any meaningful symbols that you have. For me, dragons are very predominant in my life. I have things like a dragon egg or an incense holder that's a dragon, stuff like that. Just have things that you really like and enjoy. And if you're a stoner, your favorite pipe or bong, have that sitting around all your stones and pretty things that you like. And you can make it unique to you if you're not into the whole crystal thing and stuff like that. And you don't have to spend a ton of money. You could just have anything around the house that you have that's meaningful to you and just kind of set it in its own little space. And go to it when you want to connect to your higher self or like connect with a spiritual practice. So for my spiritual practices, like, it changes all the time. I don't have like one set thing, and I don't do it at the same time every day. I'm not a very structured person. I kind of go with the flow and do what feels right in the moment as best I can. And sometimes I'll burn sage and light a Reiki infused candle. I'll set an intention and smoke my cannabis. It can be something as simple as that, just taking a few conscious breaths before smoking your cannabis. Sitting down to meditate or doing some yoga. Journaling, anything like that, gratitude, saying affirmations, anything like that, anything that resonates with you and that feels really good to you. The most important thing is that it feels good for you, whatever you like to do to connect to, like the more spiritual side of you. And it's beneficial to all chakras, like I said. So I just mentioned a couple in this video and I feel like I talked forever. So I appreciate you guys catching this series. I'm really excited to be finished with all the chakra videos. I'm also thinking about doing a guided meditation and adding it to this playlist and just helping you open up all of your chakras in one short meditation, probably maybe 20 to 30 minute meditation. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm also doing some cannabis-infused interviews. So I'm really excited to talk to a couple people about their spiritual beliefs around cannabis and how they use it to connect with their higher selves and how they use it to manifest. Different tricks and tips they use on the more logical side of using cannabis. Like I'm going to interview a couple people. The interview I have tonight actually is about taking tolerance breaks and how that helps her connect with the plant better. So I'm really excited to learn about that because I'm not someone who actually ever takes a tolerance break. I use it every day, but I've slowed down a lot since I've had kids. I use it mainly medicinally just to handle just like the daily stress of life. I'm an autism mom, so that comes with a lot of stress and a lot of appointments and stuff like that. And I suffer from anxiety, depression, so it's kind of hard to be there at my best for my son without a little help. And I choose cannabis for that. So I use it a lot for that. And also I've been using it very consciously. And even when I am using it medicinally, I set my intentions to heal to calm me down if I'm feeling anxious or relieve pain if my back hurts, things like that. So, yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you're enjoying these videos. And if you have anything that you're curious about cannabis or want to learn about it or anything on the spiritual side of it, drop your things in the questions or things you are curious about in the comments, and I'll do my best to create a video on that topic for you. Alright, so have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.